All right, Sooner fans. Up next, one of the worst fullbacks to ever come through Oklahoma, number 36, my boy. Nah, I'm playing. You know, I got all love for him. Here he is, Dimitri Flowers. Man,
Yeah.
what's up, Meech?
What's up, boys? Appreciate y'all having me out tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
Man, glad you could come on, man. We've actually been trying to get you on here for like the past month and a half at some point, you know?
Look, you know, I'm a busy guy. You know, I got people to see, things to do.
Yeah. It just so happens we get you on here after a loss, huh?
Hopefully, I can put a smile on y'all's face. How about that?
Man, I hope so too. But no, honestly, I appreciate you coming on, me, Brayden, and Alex. But without further ado, we shall not waste any time. So, what is it like, first off, being a fan versus playing for the University of Oklahoma?
Yeah, it's different. Watching a game with an average fan that has no knowledge of the game, they're just sitting there screaming and yelling, and I can't watch the game with a lot of fans because I just get pissed off. I start getting fights like they're trying to tell y'all to do something that's completely wrong. Being an ex player and stuff is it's a different perspective, and in my competitive edge, like I'm wanting to hop in on the field every single time I watch a game too. So you got both of those things I'm battling against.
Yeah. A lot of Twitter coaches out there nowadays, huh?
Oh
Man,
yeah. Oh
man.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
Man, it just seems like that's all you see a lot of the time. I mean, it's ridiculous, man.
hmm it's the same ones that tweet you when you score a touchdown too. That's the crazy part.
Of
It's the
course.
same
oh,
ones.
Of course.
oh. That's funny. So what is Dimitri Flowers doing nowadays?
Yeah, so I'm in my second year of law school at OU, right down the
Mm.
street. So I'm still in Norman. I'm still kicking it around, going on like my ninth year being there. Uh, graduate at the end of, I guess, a year and a half from now, and hopefully find a good job and go from there.
You know, this
Love that.
interview This interview feels like a full circle for me because I remember you hosting me on my official, like, what was that, 2016?
It was 2016 after a loss, Ohio State.
Bro,
Mm.
Remember that?
bro, I remember that night like it was yesterday, man.
We
I
ain't
was,
gonna talk about what we did after the game
what?
either.
I was like, that was like 5.5 years ago. Oh my God.
That was 5 years ago.
Yo, I
Man.
met, bro, Brayden, just to like give you a summary of the night, bro. Like, I met so many people, like I don't even remember
hmm
whenever I got to campus, they'll be like, "Bro, you remember me from that night?" I'm like, "Bro, like no."
Bro,
I promise you I
no,
don't. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
we don't remember a
I
lot from
ended
that
the
night.
I ended the night at somebody's house. It's like 3 a.m. playing FIFA. Like
This dude texted
Demetrius.
me, "Can you come pick me up?" And it's got to be like 5 a.m. at this time.
Yeah, bro.
I'm like, dude, I'm in bed. We just lost.
Demetrius
I'm mad at the
nowhere.
world.
Oh my gosh, this man is nowhere to be found. I'm with
Oh, I snuck
strangers.
out of there.
It
Oh
was fun.
man.
I had a
Don't
great
let
time,
Meach
man.
be a babysitter. He's gonna leave
No,
your kids somewhere at
don't
3 a.m. in the
do not.
Oh, that's so funny. So second year of law school. So what's law school like, man? I don't really know much about it.
Yeah, man. It's difficult. Can't lie. I mean, I joke around and tell a lot of people the first week of law school, I did more reading than my 4 years of college while playing. It's a lot of reading. I mean, probably looking at 300 pages a week for different classes. You get cold called, which means a professor just in the middle of class will call your name, say, "Mr. Flowers, Mr. Willis, Mr. Hall, can you tell me what the appellate court said, what the appellate court was arguing?" And you have to know it on spot. And I mean, it gets pretty nerve wracking now. You know,
Mm.
it's tough, man, but you learn a lot. It opens your eyes a lot too.
Man, 200 pages a week? I can't even. I mean, I get mad when a professor, assigns like, reading and it's like 20 pages. I'm like, don't think I got football. Like, I could be reading those 20 pages. Like, that's too much. but but no, 200 pages? Oh man, I can't
Oh
even.
yeah,
I can't fathom it, bro. I'm gonna send my prayers for you.
right. I need all the ones I can get too. I need them all.
What do you plan on doing after law school? Like, is there any type of court you plan on going into?
Yeah, so last summer, interned with the public defender's office. So did a lot of criminal law. Always had a passion for that. I also worked for Integris Health, doing a little corporate compliance and stuff of that nature. And then actually next week, I have an interview with the Arizona Diamondbacks to do a spring internship with their in-house counsel,
Mm.
do a little sports law, and just kind of stay around sports, which is obviously my life. So I can see myself doing that as well. I'm just hoping everything falls into place, and I'd kind of just fall into something too.
Hmm.
That's pretty cool. So you said staying around sports, and that kind of like leads me to my next question. So you spend a little bit of time in the NFL. Tell us about that journey and your journey from the NFL to the XFL. And
Mhm.
can you follow that with lastly, how did you know when it was time to hang up the cleats?
Yeah, man, and that it's tough. And y'all both experienced this, but the NFL is kind of it's a copycat league, and there's not a lot of fullbacks out there. So I was rated the number one fullback coming out and didn't even get drafted. I don't think my draft class had a single fullback actually. So I mean, it was that was kind of the start of the battle, and so like you said, was with the Jets for a little bit, and I was competing with another fullback. We both got cut, didn't even keep a fullback, so went there, and then probably for about 2 months, I had a I probably had a workout every week with a different NFL team, kind of the same old. We'll sign you later on. Sign you later on, and that type of stuff. Eventually got signed to the practice squad by the Jaguars, and then they activated me to the active roster. And then going into, I was with them the rest of the season, started OTAs, all that stuff with them. And then before training camp, I was the only fullback on the roster, and they cut me. Brought in a new OC, didn't use a fullback. So both times I got cut, there wasn't a fullback on the roster after me. And so it's tough. It's tough to make it. It's the top of the top. But it's one of those things where when we've played football our entire lives, it's hard to just give it up. And so when the XFL came into play, Coach Stoops obviously drafted me, so got to play a little bit more. But at that point, I kind of started losing my love for the game per se. It was I used to games nowadays you get giddy putting on your uniform before you go run out and play every Saturday, and I didn't have that feeling anymore. And so once I lost that, I started to realize I need to move on. And so didn't know what I really wanted to do, and it kind of just hit me one day that I want to change the world. I want to go to law school, and that's went cold turkey. Studied for the LSAT for a little bit, got a good grade, had good undergrad grades, got into OU, and here we are now.
Man. Ooh, so what you're telling me is we're as H backs, fullbacks,
Uh huh.
we're kind of oh man,
Hey,
it's scratching
I
my nerves there a little bit.
I hope y'all get it. I mean, it's tough. There's not a lot of teams that do it.
Yeah.
That's just the nature of it. But there's still teams that do as well. And so I mean, I know both of y'all are better than me. Well, Brayden's better than me. Jeremiah ain't better than me. But
Man,
so hopefully, hopefully one of y'all makes it at least.
if I
I
could
will
reach
say, technically, we're starting to go by the term tight end these days
Okay.
at OU. So I mean, H back and everything. Hey, got love
Yeah.
for position, but I mean, at the same time, I feel
Hey,
like I'll be a tight end, man.
like by
yeah.
any means, and that's a good thing too. Is Brayden, I know for a fact you're faster than me. So I mean, you definitely have a different body type than I do as well. So the more you can do, the more you're gonna get those opportunities. It's like Coach Riley says all the time. He's gonna play his best 11, and if you can run, block, and catch, and do it all well, you're gonna be on the field no matter what size. Um,
Yeah.
so take advantage of it. Being in a versatile offense like Lincoln's too is huge because it shows the pro teams every single week of what y'all can do.
No, for sure. Yeah. Hey, Jeremiah, how many balls have you fumbled at OU?
One, well, statistically zero. How about you?
Zero, and let's try to keep it that way.
Yeah, no doubt. And the same goes for off the field with you know, those balls.
Oh man, that shouldn't be a worry. Thanks to our friends at Manscaped. Ever since Manscaped hooked us up with the brand new lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, the only balls I have to worry about taking care of are the ones on the field. Manscaped has me covered off the field.
For sure. And if you want to get the Performance Package 4.0, you get more than just the Lawnmower 4.0. The package includes a weed whacker, ear and nose hair trimmer, crop preserver, ball deodorant, crop reviver toner, plus 2 free gifts. Performance box briefs and the shed travel bag.
Lately with all the rankings going on, I was thinking there's a good thing that there isn't a committee ranking top four men's grooming companies every week because that'd be a waste of time. I mean, Manscaped be one every time. Am I right?
For sure. It's so true. And we talk about drip or drown every week. A key part of dripping is making sure you're cleaned and groomed where people can and can't see.
Exactly, J Hall. Because if you're clean, down there, you'll be feeling clean everywhere.
Jordan Brayden and I and the 2 million men worldwide in using Manscaped to ensure the best quality in men's grooming. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code Prairie. That's Prairie, Prairie at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com using the code Prairie.
You said 20% off. That's a no-brainer. 20% off and you get free shipping just by using the code Prairie. That's a great deal, man. All right, J Hall. Let's no more of the ball talk. Let's get back to the other ball talk, man.
Yes, sir. Yeah. I was doing my research on fullbacks and H backs, whatever you want to call it. For me, as long as I'm a playmaker, I don't care what you call me.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
There
I
you go.
was,
Absolutely.
only 17, 18 teams currently even use a fullback. And of
Hmm.
those teams, there's only one like on each roster.
Yeah.
So definitely a hard position to not only earn a spot but keep a spot at. So
Exactly.
um I don't know if I've ever told you this, but I'm actually proud of your transition, bro, because there's been so many people that I know that just hang up the cleats and they just kind of fall to the wayside because nobody you can't prepare for this type of
Mm-mm.
change in life,
Mhm.
man. We don't know life without balling. So I'm
Mhm.
glad that you've had success. I'm proud of you if you haven't heard it from me yet. And hoping to not need you as a lawyer one day, but I'm hoping to see. I'm,
Yeah. Yeah.
hopefully if I need you, it's because
yeah,
you're a sports agent and I'm using you
Exactly.
to sign somewhere or something. That's the
Exactly.
only time I want
Good,
to.
good terms only, boys. Good terms only.
For
for
sure.
sure. But man, moving on to the football aspect. So you've watched most, if not all, of our games so far, and obviously your experience playing. You've lost games, won games, played in big games, and all that type of stuff. What would you say the mindset was back then whenever you guys lost the game, and how did you guys move forward from it?
Yeah. So, you know, um, 20, my sophomore year and my senior year both made the college football playoff. And both of those years, we lost a game we shouldn't have. So I think it was a big shock at OU because you're not supposed to lose a game. You're supposed to
Right.
go undefeated every year. That's the expectations. And so that mindset kind of was, the sun's gonna rise, the moon's gonna come. It's gonna be a day by day. You take a L, you can't sit there and think about it for another week because next thing you know, you're playing another game in 6 days, and you keep that same mindset, you're gonna lose again. So I
Hmm.
mean, yeah, yes, we still lost, and yes, there's still opportunity to win the Big 12 to make the college football playoff. What I mean, I was saying earlier, crazier things have happened, and it's out of your control at this point. What y'all need to do is work on what y'all can control, fix the things internally, and let everything else play out. And hopefully, it plays out in our favor, and we get another natty this year. It's still in front of us. It's still there.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I mean, that's exactly what we discussed today as leaders, and that's what we'll talk about to the rest of the team, tomorrow. And I mean, like you said, I mean, it's what was done in the past is over now. I mean, we kind of got to focus on what's now, and we kind of got to embrace it. I mean, if we're gonna use this, if this is gonna happen, we at least have to use it as a lesson and learn from it. You know what I'm saying? So,
Mhm.
I completely agree.
Yeah, I don't really have anything to harp on, man. It's hard because it's like year after year, there's always been that one
Yeah,
game, and
absolutely.
you know, it seems like the theme at OU is avoiding that one game. So now that that's happened, it's just like, obviously we want to move on. Obviously, we want to use it as a lesson, but it kind of feels disappointing to Sooner
Yeah.
Nation, especially when you look on Twitter and everybody's like, here we go again.
Oh, absolutely. You know,
Mm.
But
it's hard. It's hard to win every game.
yeah,
It's hard to win every game. There's not a lot of teams that do it. You know.
exactly. So I want to make sure I ask you this, if anything, before we let you go. What do you think about OU moving on to the SEC?
Yo, I'm kind of jealous. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, damn, y'all get to go play at all the fun places. Get to go to Kyle Field. Get to go to Stark Vegas.
Well,
All
not us, not
do
us. We'll be gone.
Oh yeah. Y'all will be gone. Everybody else. You know, that's kind of. I mean, I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be a good measure for where we're at as a program in its entirety. It's going to be a good point just to compete. The SEC always has the Alabamas, the Georgia, so it's going to be fun to get to play them every year without having to worry about making a college football playoff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. The worries of making the college football playoffs will greatly diminish once that move happens. I think honestly that'll probably force the CFP to expand. Like
Oh, it
literally.
has to,
Yeah,
man.
it
Yeah.
will.
It needs to. I think it needs to go to 12. I think 12 is a good number.
Yeah.
Um, get the Power Five automatic bids,
Some
couple
buy
ID
games for a couple.
markets. Exactly.
Yeah,
The top four seeds buys, and then the other eight teams play the top four seeds. It's just, it's any given Sunday, which anybody can beat anybody on any Saturday. You see it in March Madness all the time. You see 15 seeds upset two seeds.
hmm
It's what makes the game fun. And a lot of it is X's and O's and technique and stuff like that. But sometimes it's about heart too. Sometimes it's about that Cincinnati coming in and no one giving them a shot to beat Bama, but then they do. And were they supposed to beat Bama? Absolutely not. But it's any given Saturday. Anything can happen.
It's funny
All
that you
right.
say that. Jeremiah and I were actually just talking about that in a hotel room. Was on Friday, talking about how crazy how crazy it is in basketball and like March Madness, that really any given year any team has a
Yeah,
chance to win it, because
yeah,
just March Madness is 64 teams, whatever the case may be. And so I think it would kind of, if we were to move to that form or a format or not, I mean, something
yeah,
similar, then
yeah.
it would be a more of a open chance for a lot of teams.
Yeah.
So
Definitely agree with that. I definitely agree with that. I mean, when you limit yourself to two, three of the same four teams every year, you don't really give a 5, 6, 7 seeded team to win a natty. Which, I mean, is it fair? It is, maybe they shouldn't have lost the game, or you can argue
right,
that, but I think it just makes it more fun. Everyone likes watching bowl games and playoffs and bracket play a lot more than watching a typical conference game. That's just facts.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, for sure. Well, man, before we let you go, is there anybody you want to shout out? Anything you want to talk about before you head off?
And I just want to give a shout out to the homies down south, Texas. I know they're struggling a little bit right now. Uh, you know, I mean, I'm just gonna leave it at that. We struggling, they struggling, but they struggling a little bit more right now.
I will say that did make my Saturday just a tad bit better. I hate losing. For everybody listening to this, I cannot stand losing.
Absolutely.
I didn't text nobody back
Nope.
after the game, but after I saw that, it did kind of put just a little quiver in my lip, just a little bit.
OU and UT struggle hand in hand, huh?
Yeah, I guess so.
Man, well, Dimitri, thank you for coming on to the show, man. Really miss you. Really miss having you around. Glad you could take the time to come on to the podcast, bro.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
appreciate you, big bro.
I appreciate y'all for having me out. Like I said, I'm always here for y'all. Anything y'all need, anything at all, just let me know. I'm right down the road.
Yeah. Good luck in law school, by the way.
All right, boys.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is perfect.